do a so let's make a formal introduction for our listeners. Good afternoon, Eivind. My name is Claudio. I'm calling you from Washington, D.C. From the studios in Fairfax City. We're very humble and grateful that Eivind Aarset accepted our invitation to our show. Eivind, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. So let's go at the beginning. You know, the last year has been crazy with the pandemic. People believe in the vaccine. Some people don't believe in the vaccines. Some countries are better off than others. You know, touring musician like yourself, you know, if you don't tour, they don't play, they don't make any money. How this has affected your life, your your creativity, your sanity?
It's been like a real challenge because when this pandemic first started, I've been working so long, you know, with having quite busy schedule, and then to have this total stop was a shock in many ways. It's the only, well, it's like, it felt like science fiction in a way. It's like the world is totally changed. And then I started to go to work every day in my studio. So that's what I have been doing. I feel it's sort of hard to keep the same kind of energy that I would normally have when I work together with people. But I have made a lot of stuff this year, so it's not a total stop, and I had the time to explore things that I maybe would spend that much time with when I have a more busy schedule.
Yeah, when you are touring, you cannot record new stuff and produce new stuff, right? So like a trade-off. But when you're not touring, no money is coming in. So how you pay the bill?
But we've been in Norway. We've been very lucky for musicians in the way that we have a percentage of the income we used to have. We get like support because the state said we can work, so it said they give us some money so we can survive.
Gotcha.
Which is really good.
Help out.
It had been like really disaster for me.
And then you mentioned before that little venues are start opening up now, little by little. Or
so now it's I did my first international travel in the beginning of July, which was really difficult. You know, because every time you cross the border, you have to fill out a lot of forms and have tested like in 24 hours before entering the plane, and it's a lot of, I mean, it's possible, but it's a lot of practical stuff we have to deal with. But it was nice to play again. I must really say that was
absolutely,
nice
man. They play, and the people, me, consumer of music, they want to listen bands. So it's September 1st. Here, all the venues they're opening. They're opening now, right? Little by little.
Okay.
In the United States, so there will be a lot of gigs coming up here. So I'm watching. I'll be watching a lot of bands. And
so everything will be open. No, like restrictions.
No. A lot of people have like close to 200 million have received the vaccine here, and now I went to see a band yesterday, a tribute band. And being one next week, and about 10 concerts in September, and so there is September 1st when opening up. So it's better. It's always with the Delta variation or Epsilon, it's always a risk. But with the vaccine, right? If you have received your vaccine, you have a better chance to survive. You wouldn't go to the hospital, you know, as opposed to if you catch it and you have not received vaccine, you're very risky. So whether you believe on the stuff, take the vaccine, man. You know, some crazy people don't believe, or this like a alien is going to control your body, or whatever the reason that.
It's kind of strange to see how this plays itself out with this also this conspiracy
Yes,
theory.
I want to live, man. I want to see great music. You know,
Yeah.
I want to see you play live. For me, music. I don't play any instrument. I mean, I don't know how to read music, nothing. But I began listening music when I was a baby. My
Yeah.
dad have a huge collection, a huge floors. So he told me that I listened to Louis Armstrong just when I was 2 days old,
Yeah, yeah.
and then and then when I was 14, I discovered music. So I discovered Genesis and Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
I discovered Jean-Luc Ponty in jazz.
Yeah.
I found out about Tangerine Dream, and I was crazy, and that's what I said, man. This music is going to be my passion. I'm an engineer, right? I'm a
Yeah.
computer engineer, nothing to do with
Yeah.
it, but music is my thing. You know, it's so
You know,
I wanna live, and I wanna take the vaccine, do whatever I need to do, put another dose of this. I
yeah.
wanna see every band. I wanna go to every major festival in the world, and I'm that happy. You know,
Are you fully vaccinated now?
of course, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
About
I just received my second
yeah,
dose
yeah,
2 days ago.
yeah.
So
I did it
no.
4 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, people need to get the vaccine, and that's crazy, people. Were you born in like in a musical family? When you began playing, piano or guitar? How do you start?
No, it was not a musical family
Really?
at all. Nobody played the instruments, uh, but I heard my cousins. They were they are much older than me, and I was like really looking up to them, and they were playing in rock bands and stuff. And then when I was 12, I got this record from a friend, record called Henriks in the West, which is all live recordings from by Henriks.
Of course.
And it's just changed my life. And it's a lot of music I listened to when I was 12 that I don't really listen to anymore, but this record I can listen to it still, and it's so his I mean his playing is so it's like improvisation. It's like really improvisational stuff. It's not only powerful, it's delicate and it's brutal, and it's really good. And it opened my it's sort of a wake up, musical wake up.
Got you. And then, did you, when you were the equivalent of the high school, the last 4 years of school, did you go to like a musical school or
No,
or no, or you went to university?
well,
But
I went to I did when I don't know what's this when it's like you finished with the school you have to do, like when I was 15 or 16, then I went to this high school, maybe it's
high
called
school, yeah,
high
school.
school with music as a special.
Music as a special, yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
And then I studied music after this I studied music at the university for a couple of years, and then I started to get gigs, so I left without really a degree or anything, but
What your parents told you about that? They told you finish. What your parents, your dad and mom said, stay in school, wait, finish, and then make money?
oh,
Or no?
no, well, I was lucky in the sense that my father he was a graphic designer,
Yeah.
and his father again really put a lot of pressure on him to do other things than what he ended up doing. So he was like, and also my mother, they were just like real supportive. The choices I made, they were fine with it. So
Yeah.
luckily I didn't have to have this struggle.
And then what was the first gig that you end up getting paid? You remember? The first one that they give you a check?
There was some, yeah, that was pretty early, but it was just that was very like in this youth clubs. But first professional gig was a hard rock band with some people I knew from school, and they started professional things. So we toured Norway with playing music, which I would say it's like hard rock, not real metal, but like things inspired by AC/DC and this kind of yeah. Drummer with 2 bass drums and this.
Yeah, so you begin, yeah, okay, and then after that, when you begin earning money and getting an income, your parents say, yeah, you're doing okay.
Yeah, they were really relieved when I started, because after this period of touring with the metal things, I started doing a lot of session work, studio work, and also participated in some, backing artists in the television. And when I was on television, then yes,
yeah, that's the word happening. Yeah. So,
yeah.
So when you were like I don't know, when you started 18 to, I don't know, 22 years old, what kind of music were you listening to at the time? A lot of music from Europe, London,
Yeah, it was. I listened to a lot of different styles. I listened to like lots of jazz. I was really. That was also really inspired by a friend brought a record with Miles Davis record from '75. I think last thing he did before he had this break before he re-entered his career, and it's fantastic. Also, this especially this '70s Miles was a big influence for me. And then I listened to pop record, a lot of American stuff, a lot of like Steely Dan, Larry Carlton, and Steps Ahead. And then after a while, I also listened a lot to European stuff, like the Norwegian sort of fathers, I would say, of my generation, like Jan Garbarek, Terje Rypdal. Those guys who were on ECM opened up many doors for my generation.
Yeah.
Also, of American artists, during the '80s, I was coming to Talking Heads and discovered Brian Eno, discovered John Hassell and David Thorne, Bill Frisell, of course.
Yeah.
And especially John Hassell has been like really big influence for me and many of the people I played with.
Yeah, you're perfect. Your style has been kind of called like a new jazz forward / electronic music. It's a different combination. It's not just jazz, but it's not electronic music. It's kind of in between, touch it, some rock stuff, and it's fascinating because I like both. I like jazz, right? And I like electronic music, obviously, right? And the stuff in the middle, right? It's beautiful. Feel free. How you end up doing that? I mean, it wasn't rock. It wasn't rock and roll. It wasn't jazz either. How you end up getting to the middle area, if you will, about what you wanted?
I think it's being very lucky in the way that at that time were sort of several musicians in Oslo, sort of from different some coming from jazz, some coming from rock, some coming from and we're interested in this. So then you have an environment where you experiment and discover things together. And I think for me, from this point on, I also took, because I was doing a lot of session work before this, and I was like really bored with my own playing because I was all the time emulating certain styles and certain ways of playing. And when I started do my own debut as a band leader or whatever, I wanted to exercise some of this stuff. So I denied myself doing what I normally would do. And I think that's sort of a healthy process. Now, that's like 25 years ago. And now I allow much more of my early influence coming back in my playing, but I needed that break to really find out what I am, what is really what I want to express, not just repeating. I mean, I've of course I repeat stuff that I've learned from other people, but not just emulating other people.
Sure. No, that's a very way to put it. You have participated, man, with and played with so many great musicians. So it's difficult to start, but let's go from the beginning. Feel free to elaborate. And this, my question are open-ended. I want to get to know you as a person, you know, as a musician, obviously. But let's go from the beginning. So, feel free to elaborate in electronic noir. That was your first record that was released, and then I was reading New York Times or one of the jazz publications that it was very, very well received as one of the best electric jazz record at the time.
Yeah, it was.
How in the world that opened the door for you completely,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was a shock for me that it was that well received, and for sure it was not especially well received in Norway. So it was first released in Norway and then later internationally. So it helped on not only open doors, but it also actually, I must say, it helped boosting my confidence, because I was not really sure about what I was doing. So it helped. Okay, so somebody likes it. It's really felt real good, and also just as important for as opening doors. You know, Nils, I was in band of Nils Petter Molvær, trumpet player, and he had a huge success on his album Khmer on ECM. So then we toured the world, and he was really open to my role in the band, so I could do whatever I wanted, so this many people loved that band, and also liked what I was doing in that band. So that's the combination of this debut album and the touring with Nils Petter opened very many doors. So I'm very grateful for
so you became famous outside your own country, and then you guys received you know, very good communication and reviews from Holland, and then Norway. So it's you need to be outside, be great, and then people in your own country, hey, this guy's a local person, he's very good. You know.
Yeah. Well. Oh, no, could you repeat that, because now there was some delay on the line here. So could you repeat the last thing?
No problem. That you became famous, you know, with playing with that band outside your own country, right? You start, you know, receiving great critics, and then maybe this guy is from Norway, so our own you know, close to Oslo, you know, they began playing your music in the radio, probably, you know. That's what happened. Sometimes you became famous.
I think that's slightly problematic for me. Not a problem. I'm really happy with Norway and the Norwegian scene, but I was sort of, people knew me as a session guitar player.
Yeah.
So I think I was not that interesting for the Norwegian audience that knew me as a session player, because that's a session player. But for people that didn't know my music or know me at all, when I mean, I'm really grateful for the possibility at least to play all over the world. It's privilege.
Yeah, I was reading, somebody said, like online, said, one of the best electric jazz album of the post-Mal era, released in 1998. Man, that's a big, somebody saying that? Compare you with Matt Elvis? Wow.
That's fantastic. I don't think it's actually true, but still, I just say thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. Yeah,
that. And then after that, it opened a lot of possibility, a lot more gigs. People were calling you. You know, you were playing the radio, so all of a sudden you became international, you know.
Yeah, then it was possible, especially I worked a lot in like Germany and Germany, Austria, and this territory, also Italy, and then also Canada has been, and then of course some other few, but especially these territories. It expanded the possibility to play, and also because Norway is a very small country. We're only 5.5 million living here, so I can't. When I come with a new record, I can't. You know, it's not so many people, and not so many people are interested in music that is not commercial. So you can't play that many gigs in this country. So it's just so super nice to have the possibility to travel a bit in other countries as well.
Can you play here in the United States?
In the United States, I played with Nils in the United States. The problem with the United States is that it costs so much money to get the work permit.
Really, that's crazy. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not fair because it's not American musicians don't have to pay a lot of stuff to money to tour Europe. So, you need to have a lot of money and to pay lawyers and stuff to get this permit to work. So it's financially it's a bit more difficult than going to Canada, for instance.
Yeah. And in order to pay that amount, you need to have like 20 gigs or 30. Otherwise, it's not worth it, right?
Yeah, or the fee.
For one gig of one night.
Yeah, or the fee has to be really high, and you can't, as an unestablished artist, demand like a big fee for. So there has to be investment, and so it's possible. I would love to do it, but then it has to be an investment, and then it has to be a good plan so that you don't just spend a lot of money and nothing is happening. So it should be.
That's
like,
right. Yeah. No, that's
a good way.
I did. Yeah, somebody told me that you guys need to pay a lot of money. Of course, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know that the people coming from outside the United States need to pay a big fee to, play here and work here, which is.
Or I know also people that are coming to the United States and saying they're just tourists, but that's very risky, to go to, and I know people that has been sent back, at the border because they
arrive with a lot of instruments.
Okay, and then they at the border they Google you and say, yeah, but you're playing tonight, this, and then you're sent straight back home.
You're playing tonight on a gig, and that's. Also, I like the other album that you did after that. It's called Live Extras, right?
Live Extras, yeah.
Yeah, from 2001. That's a very good album. Feel free to elaborate how that came together and.
Yeah, Light Extracts were. When I made the first album, I didn't really have a band, so I just asked people I normally played with to be musicians on the record, and then. To tour with this, I formed the band, and then this is the band I play with on Light Extracts. So the idea was to develop the band, the sound of the band, and also because the first album is pretty dark, so I wanted to have a reaction to that and make it more light. Approach, so both visually and musically, I think this sounds ended up sounding quite good. The album, I'm happy with.
Yeah, and then you did after the live. You did the live with the Sonic Codex Orchestra, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of other records in between there, which is so which is developing this band concept, changing a little bit the lineup, and then we did the orchestra version with 2 drummers.
Yeah,
and that was. Yeah, sorry.
I listened to the stuff last night. It's very good, actually. It's very good. Yeah.
And because up to that point, I used. electronic percussion, drum machines together with the drummer. And then I talked with the drummer, and we thought, well, maybe to play all the percussion side of this live instead of having to follow. And that was a really, for us, it was a really big step in a positive way, because then we could play much softer and much louder. It just increased the live dynamic in a huge. You have a machine going in the monitors. It has to be like a minimum sound that, so you have to be able to play with the machine, you have to hear it well. But then playing it, get rid of that, instead playing, you could play much softer and also much louder. So this, I really like that. So the electronic part is now more what I do, which is representing the electronic with treatments, guitar sounds, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the other, like you mentioned, to me, the other albums in between, I think is called Connected.
Yeah.
That's a very good album too, man. Man, you were getting better and better, you know, with age, like wine, you know, you begin like a good wine or a good beer, you know, good cheese, you know, you go with that. Yeah, I think Connected is, I listened to like about 7 albums from you in the last 3 days. Connected is a very, very good album. I really liked it. It's you've been, you were evolving over time, you know, from being very dark to more, you know, more softer side, if you will. And you were coming out on your own, you know, doing the stuff that you like, instead of, you started a studio musician. It's like, studio musician is great. Nobody knows you. You're in an album. Sometimes they mention, but then all of a sudden, after the kind of Miles Davis record, you begin to discover, well, I want to, what I'm doing, what Eivind is doing to the world, you know, and then you begin evolving as a musician, and then and doing your own thing, which is, you know, some people want to do it, some people don't want to do it.
Yeah, and I think also this, playing with this band live, also that, you know, playing many gigs, it helps to establish a sort of understanding of what I'm doing in a different way. So it's not only the records, it's the touring as well, as because the tunes are always changing. Every night it's very different, and it gives, for me it's that's why I miss touring so much. It's really helps creating new ideas for new records in a very organic way.
The organic way, yeah. And then when you're playing live, you like when every version playing live, every version, of course, is based on a particular track. The track is the same, but you know, the drummer can extend a little bit, or the guitar or the keyboard it's a different experience seeing a band live. You know? That's the point. That's what people pay money to see. Somebody, you know, they can listen to the record at home of the vinyl, but seeing a band live, and sometimes make a mistake, the guitar start before a couple seconds before the drummer, and that's what like theater is live, right? You know, as opposed to a movie, right, where they edited. It's perfect, right? Seeing a live band is it's a beautiful thing, man. You do get a lot of, you still get nervous when you're playing?
Yes. Really nervous. And most of the time the nerves are really good, in a way that when I go on stage, I know the moment before I go on stage, I say, oh, why do I do this?
I want to go home. I don't
do this to myself. But then, but then when I'm getting on stage, it's most of the times I just feel I'm getting into the music, and then everything is really good. And and it's and somehow maybe I need those nerves to get into this concentration. But sometimes the nerves can be like really destroying when I'm starting to be too self-aware. Is that the right word? Yeah.
Yeah, self-aware. Yeah.
So I'm just judging myself while on stage, and that's not a good idea. Just I want to be in the moment, not before and not after the moment.
It's hard not to be. It's hard not to be living in the past or living in the future, living in the moment. Living in the moment, it's not that easy to accomplish.
Yeah.
From a psychological point of view.
No, but it's. I think it's for to be in this moment of where you can feel the music can flow. It's really nice to be in the moment and feel that, and it's sort of having this control over the sound and of the music, that you know that all possibilities are there and you can just choose then where you want to go. That's a good feeling.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's go to the stuff you did with the ECM record label, like Dream Logic, and then the work you did with Nils Peter Molvaer, and then Romania, and then Atmosphere. Man, by the way, with Nils Peter Molvær, I will have him the show in a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah,
he's very good too.
Yeah, super.
Yeah, so feel free to elaborate on how the stuff came together playing with with ECM. How it started.
Well, it was it's been sort of many many starting points. First time I recorded for ECM was with Marilyn, Danish percussion player. She used to be with Miles' band in the 80s. And she had a big group where also Nils Petter was a member. Actually, it was Nils Petter who introduced Marilyn to me and said you had to bring Eivind. So
wow, right.
But we did one record there which Manfred Eicher was supposed to produce, but he didn't show up. Something else happened, so we produced on our own, and he did a mix. So I never met him, and also the same thing with the Khmer album with Nils Petter, and also Solid Ether, which was the record after, both on ECM. He was not there. So,
really?
No, he came for the mix, but he was not there during the recording.
Yeah.
And so the first time, actually, I was with him. Same thing, actually, for Dream Logic. It was Jan Bang who produced it, and Manfred just came in for some adjustment details and also setting up the sequence, which was really good what he did. And then first time I worked with him in the studio was with Atmospheres in 2016, and that was a great experience. He was super focused and it was really inspiring. Being the way I am, which is often thinking twice, wondering, is this the best one or is this the best one, was so inspiring to see his, like, just trusting his own gut feeling. This is the take, let's move on to the next one. So we made a I think quite good album in 2 days, and it was most of it was improvised, and he was like really very helpful and positive in the way of understanding the music and having a vision of what the album could be. And he was also really behind the album. So I've had feeling that it got a good, promotion and everything.
And where that was recorded? Where is all the ECM stuff is recorded in one particular country, or no?
No, for many years he used to record a lot in Norway, at Rainbow Studio with with a very good sound engineer, Jan Erik Honoré, but he passed away just 2 years ago. So this period is over. But the Atmospheres album was recorded in the radio studio in Lugano, Switzerland, and he records a lot of stuff there. And it's recorded on without audience, of course, but on the stage. So it's no headphones, just sitting together on the stage playing together.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I
With
would love
all the the leakage from printed instruments, no isolation instruments.
Yeah. Yeah. ECM always is a very, very famous record label. Yeah. I mean, I know who Manfred is. I have the possibility of interview him because the guy is very, very famous. So maybe he will not get back to me. I need to go to his publicist.
Yeah.
Or I can reach out to Manfred. But
he's a very interesting character.
really? Yeah, I would love. That's what I want to interview.
Very strong guy and very sure of himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, you know who Pat Metheny is, right?
Yeah.
Right, of course. Well, that's what one of my first I don't know, 78, 79, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
It was done with loud Maze and ECM records. That's what I discovered ECM. And now ECM has, I don't know, like 1,000 albums or, it's a big record label. So I don't have it all. I have a lot, but not all. And it's a very good, the recordings are very well done. The mixes are well done, at least for I think I have like 20 or 25 ECM CDs.
Yeah.
And it's very good quality. I mean, they're very picky. They position it to be very good and very good recorded. The images on the label, the picture, it's a very well run place, like in Japan. Like in Japan, you go to Tokyo, everything is synchronized. And if you open a package, very well, the same with ECM, very, very well done.
Yeah.
Opposed to other record labels, they don't care.
And they, at this, like especially in the 80s when all this, and 70s actually also, but then I was not old enough to get into the clubs. But in the 80s, there were a lot of great international bands coming to Oslo to record for ECM.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Wow.
I don't know if you know this album 8081 of Pat Metheny.
Of course I know.
With Michael Brecker, Drew Redman, Jack DeJohnette, and Charlie Hayden. They played, I think the day before they recorded or day after, I'm not for sure. They played a concert at a club in Oslo. I was there, and in 1980 or 81, I don't remember, but it was unbelievable. It's one of the best concerts I've ever been to. So they played 5 tunes for 2, and it was like 2 hours concert, and it's like a flow which was unbelievable.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's unbelievable. Have you ever met him, Pat Metheny?
Oh, I never met him.
We did. He's busy now. You need to play his records. do something together with Charlie Hayden and stuff like that. He's very good. Have you ever been in Tokyo?
Yes.
Have you played there, Tokyo?
Yeah, I played in Tokyo several times.
Yeah.
And I love
You like it?
Tokyo.
Playing there?
I really. Oh yeah, it's super. Yeah, it's. I played. I was supposed to go there also last year. I hope it will happen this year because everything was postponed. So we'll see what happens. No, Tokyo is. I think it's so nice. The people there and the food is fantastic, and the world it's very different, but it's really interesting to me.
Yeah. I never been in Tokyo, but I want to go and buy records. Wow.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my page full of.
Okay.
Yeah, I never been in Tokyo, but I really want to go, and I want to. The quality of the CDs, the vinyls is very, very good. So if I go there, I need to take one suitcase of clothes and the other empty suitcase and bring music.
You should.
Because I buy a lot from different people, and it's very expensive, the shipping here. So maybe I will go with an empty suitcase and bring everything here to my favorite. Do you have a big music collection? Like CDs, vinyl? Do you listen to a lot of stuff?
I listened to I didn't have a vinyl player for very many years, but I just got one now, and I love the vinyls, and not especially for the sound. Actually, I love to have a record of this size and stuff are on the cover. You can read what's there. It's like on CDs, it's sometimes so hard to read what's there, and with the streaming, you don't really know nothing.
The streaming, people that lost, they listen 10 seconds next, 10 seconds next, and that's terrible. That's terrible way of living. With the record, you need to open up, look at the image, you need to sit in front for 20 minutes, whatever it is, and then turn back and listen to it. So it's another experience, you know?
Yeah. And I want to know who's playing on record. I want to know who produced the record. I want to know where they recorded it. I don't only want to know what's the main artist's name is. So it's definitely.
Of course, it's a very different experience doing that kind of stuff. So I want to bring you some names here, and feel free to elaborate in the following artists how you what you did for them and whatever. The first one, David Sylvian, of course. Feel free to elaborate your involvement with him and.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember the first thing I did with him. It's probably something. It's connected. Actually, everything I've done with him has been connected with Jan Bang. And then I remember we did. There's a track on his record. The record is called "Victim of Stars," I think.
Yeah, Victim of Stars. Yeah.
And we play. There's a tune called "Where's the Gravity," which was originally recorded live with Jan and me doing a duo performance in the BBC studio. And then David heard it and he liked it and he wanted to, or I don't know if Jan sent it to him for asking his opinion, but anyway, it's ended up on this record. I'm really happy with that. And then we did a live performance of a work called Plight and Premonition, which is this instrumental record that David did together with Holger Shukai in the 80s. And we did a live performance of this with a big ensemble on the Punkt Festival. And I don't remember everybody who was there, but it was, I certainly don't remember the name, but it was really great English piano player, Arve Henriksen, playing harmonium, not trumpet, but playing harmonium. And then it was, I think 8 or 9 people on stage, and David was also on stage playing guitar and playing this ambient piece for like 40 minutes or something like that. And I think using some of samples from the original recording and be playing around it.
Wow.
And then after that we did this. He was in Kristiansand for a while working with Jan, and then we did the studio sessions where nothing ended up on David's records, but it was very nice working with him. He's really very interesting and very nice guy, I'd say.
David is kind of very quiet person. It's hard to he escaped on the world. It's hard to get a hold of him.
Yeah, it is. But when we talked a bit, and he's like really, he's not difficult to talk to. He's like really friendly and open, and have interesting thoughts, and not very like, it's not like doesn't feel like he's
famous
or shy or anything. It's like really nice, just nice guy.
Yeah, hopefully I can meet him one day and interview him, do a conversation with him. I will be one of my heroes, Pat Metheny and David Silva, many others. Your music too is very good. What about Bel Canto? What's your thought on your participation?
Oh, Bel Canto. It's I really like Bel Canto. They were like really early when Amelie, singer,
Yeah, they made it.
she's a few years younger than me, so they were sort of when I was the session musician, they had this international career and doing very well. So I was curious about them. I really liked the music, and they asked me to join on one of their records, and it was really fun. I loved it. And after that, I worked a lot with Amelie on her solo projects. So she has a very characteristic voice and a characteristic way of melody, and she's so recognized, and I like that. That's really character.
Yeah, Bel Canto doesn't, as a band, it doesn't exist. They dissolved, right? Emily, she have her career, but Bel Canto still together. No. Oh.
Yeah, they are doing. They had a break for
they have a break. Yeah,
for many years, but they are in. I talked to Amelie not that long ago, and she said they were in studio and doing a new album. Together with them, they have now sort of a new member, who's a really strong, good programmer with programming synths and stuff. So probably the sound will change a bit from what they did previously, but I think I'm looking forward to hear what they are coming up with.
Me too. Me too. Do you know Dead Can Dance?
No, I know the name, but I'm not familiar with the
Oh, it's very good music. If you like Bel Canto, you will like this. Okay. You can go to Spotify, or I can send you some. I have so much music that I don't know if I need like another 100 years to listen to everything. I need to quit my job and live another 50 years. You know, instead of going to an office every morning, I need to listen to my music. I buy more than I can consume. But the pandemic was good for me because I was listening to stuff I was buying, you know, and in a way, putting the radio together, I was listening to the same. I was obligated to listen to stuff, you know, Spotify and my radio.
Did you work from home as well?
Yeah. So we were at the first 6 months working from home, and now I go to the office. First was 3 days ago, 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Now it's 4 days a week, and I work from home on Friday. So I go to the office. It's very safe here. You know, everybody has vaccinated where I am, and you know, I listen to CDs in the car on the way when I'm cooking, and then at night buying also little by little try to listen to, I don't know, three CDs or 4 a day. Yeah. But I have 100 to go. I did I imported from Japan, like, I don't know, like over 1,000 vinyls. So little by little catching up. But there's new artists, you know. There's new people coming up every time, you know.
Yeah. How do you manage to keep the system of the CDs?
Of the CDs?
Yeah.
I have like 4 in the. I'm recording this from the outside of the terrace, but I have 4 floors with a bookshelf, big bookshelf that I made it in a what's called IKEA first. Yeah, so they fit very, very well.
So alphabet?
No, I'm disorganized.
Yeah.
You know, I put it like jazz or rock.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it, like Jean-Luc Ponty would be in the kind of in jazz area with rock, and then the Panmetheny in the jazz, obviously, but it's not an alphabetical order. It's hard. So when I'm looking for some stuff, it will take me a while. Yeah. And at times, I lend them to some friend that disappear, so I buy them again. I don't know. I have no idea what I have, because it's you know, I put them not in alphabetical order. Sometimes I take a jazz and I put into the rock.
Yeah, this
and vinyls. I kind of alphabetical order. Yeah, but but I bought a lot from Japan recently,
Yeah.
And they, you know, it took a couple, I don't know, 6 weeks to get here, but very good quality. So I was happy with stuff. A little by little, listening to stuff. Um, Feel free to elaborate in the Dark Star Safari, especially the example they walk through lightly, right?
Yeah.
That's a very good album, man.
Yeah. Dark, Dark Star Safari. Yeah, thank you. It has been it's you know, the first Dark Star Safari album started as Samuel asked Jan and me to come to studio in Berlin and just do improvised session, and then we did it. So some was really nice studio, and some really good stuff happened. So I thought, okay, this will be a free improv record. But then Jan had this idea of starting singing, and then it developed into this totally other kind of stuff. So I think, and now with the new record, I think it sort of has established a sort of aesthetics around that band, which is has a clear identity, and I think, as for me, it's I feel I really like it, and I think it's so interesting to when I do stuff which I haven't done before, which is the case of the Dark Star Safari albums. It's different sounds and very different inputs, and it's also nice to have this strange. It's not jazz music and it's not pop music, but it's jazz and pop music at the same time, or contemporary music. You know, it's songs. The structures are in like a format of 4 minutes or something like that, 3 or 4 minutes. So, but it doesn't sound like pop music. But I think it's not that strange. I think it's accessible, even though it has elements of contemporary classical music, has elements of jazz, elements of pop. It's kind of original result, I think.
Yeah, Samuel told me yesterday. I think it's going to be out at the end of the month, right? Next month. Yeah.
Yep.
And he little by little tracks are being distributed to some radios and stuff like that in the internet. And you guys should do very well with that album.
Yeah, I hope.
It's going to be well received.
Yeah.
And that's the idea is you and Bang and Samuel, the idea is to tour with that album when possible.
Well,
It's
I have and depending. I think it's because we are quite a large group now, 5 people on tour, and so we need to have a certain size of fee and environment to play. So we'll see what happens. And it's also, I have a new album with my band, so I also want to tour with this, also released in September. So
yeah.
I have to be
One or the other. Yeah.
I have to be sure that I don't compete with myself. So we have to find a way. But of course, if somebody is really wants to have this project, I'm of course I would love to play with it.
Sure. Look, you have played in so many venues, so many countries, man. Is any 1 or 2 concerts that you look back in your life and you say, man, that was the best gig of my life? You know, everything worked, the lights, the audience, you know, was great. Everything was synchronized.
Yes, I think there are some gigs. It's which I remember for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it's quite small club in in no, Austria, Innsbruck.
Yeah.
I played with my band, and it was just the best gig we ever played. It's, I remember it clearly, and it's about focus, I think. I remember very well that first time we played in Montreal with Nils Petter's group. That was played on a quite not small club, but kind of tight in a way, with a standing audience, and the energy was really nice, and the music was really happening. And so there's a few that, well, often it's also sometimes when I play, I'm really happy with the show. It feels like okay, now I know how to do it, but next day it's so it's next day it's like not happening. So I have to start every day to get to the start fresh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What about the other way? The worst gig that you ever been involved, that the equipment didn't arrive, was raining, one of the musicians got sick.
Yeah.
There gotta be some of them.
There's definitely some of those also. And sometimes these situations where maybe a sound is terrible on sound check or no sound check at all, and everything is miserable, but then those gigs can sometimes turn out to be the best gig because it's some extra energy or it's kicking in.
Yeah. Wow, man. Yeah, that's great, man. So what are your so obviously I know that you miss playing live music, right? So what it's of course you get, besides the money, you get paid, but because it's a job, but you like you wanna, is the crowd the most important, the energy in the member, what you feel from the crowd? What is, if you can identify a particular point, why playing live is so important to you?
I think it's I'd have to think about that. I think it's something about to feel that the music is in. I have to think. I don't. I think it's something with meeting people. That even though I'm quite shy, so I don't look much on people while I'm playing. Still, you can. I sort of. Maybe it's only on my imagination, but on the best concert, I have a feeling that I play together with the audience, not necessarily for the audience. I feel that the audience is a part of the way of responding, not like necessarily applauding, but in the way the room feels silent or noisy. They are participating in how the concert will
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a very good answer. Yeah, for me, right, as a listener, is seeing the band live. Although I know that the people have changed and some musicians have died, and it's different from for a studio recording. Seeing a band live is very, very important to me. I like it, and the crowd, and take a picture. It's give me a lot of. I'm very happy. Music is, it's seeing live music on a festival or whatever. Somebody and now interviewing people. I via the internet, right? And people at home with the pandemic, it opened a lot of opportunity for me, that I have so much music, and all of a sudden, man, I'm calling Eivind, in Norway, and I have 3 of his records or whatever, and it's connected with people, it's a great, and talking about music and stuff like that. And so, looking back in your life, is any particular musician that you wish you have the opportunity to play? Of course, everybody would say Miles Davis, right? Because it's famous. But any person that you wish alive that you say, man, I wish I could work my way through playing with that person or that person. Or
no, I've been so so privileged to have had the possibility to play with many of my favorite musicians. So and so not. I'm always interested in interesting cooperations. So, and I think maybe that it could be somebody I don't know about who could be like you. So it's and it's I mean I really love Imagine That Miles Was Alive. I love his music, but I'm not sure if I would be very good in his band, because I from what I've read about Miles, he was like really hard, and I'm not. I need to feel confident in with the people I'm working with. I'm not the person that can feel. If I feel insecure, then I'm not performing good. So I need to feel that people have confidence in me, and so I'm not sure if I would be even though I'm a big fan, I'm not sure if I would be very good in his band.
yeah, Miles Davis was very difficult to be in his band. You need to be very, very good.
Yeah.
It's difficult to, at that level to be that,
Yeah.
The people will get nervous around him,
Yeah. And some people get better if they are tense and nervous. I'm the opposite. If I get nervous, I stop taking chances. I just say things, and that's very boring.
Go safe.
Yeah.
Play safe. Play this person. Yeah. Yeah. If you feel pressure from Miles Davis, I assume that would be great, man. Yeah. So it's been very nice talking to you, Eivind, and I'm quite sure we will do like a part 2 of this interview, because we talked for an hour and I have a lot more questions, and we need to do a part 2, because I have so many. You have played with so many people, so many albums that we need to do. But so feel free to send me the information from the Punkt Festival, and because I would love to go, man. If I work out the scale in September, and since I have the vaccine, I think U.S. citizen they can travel to Europe now. It's open as long as you show the card that you were vaccinated or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Because you have this. At least I know that now, since I had my second, I am able to travel.
Yeah, you can travel
in Europe with the pass showing. So, but you should double check if it's how it works from the US, if that's the same.
Yeah, but I would love to go, and then
would be great.
I will send you a separate email with the recording for your website or Facebook, whatever, and then I'm interested to buy some of the CDs.
Yeah, but also if you prefer to have, I could send, because I didn't send you files of my music, but I could send you CDs. Yeah. Also, if you are interested in having the hard.
Yeah, I like the real thing too.
Yeah. Then I can send it.
We can coordinate, because I will buy and you can sign the stuff, and that give me a motivation to go to Norway. So we can have dinner or beer one day. What do you like? You like beer? You like wine? What do you like? What do you like? Beer, wine?
Oh, I like both. I like both. It depends a little bit. I get often to I really like beer when I'm thirsty and stuff, but then I get this feeling of this getting too much, and then I really like wine with food. It's super.
Yeah. Do you buy a Chilean wine? Wine from Chile?
Yeah. So sometimes you do, especially to recommend from Chile.
Yeah, I can send you their. I can send you a link. There's a lot of very good one. Very inexpensive.
I know.
Very. Well, maybe when I go there, I will bring you some bottles.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I know you won't be able to find that kind of wine in Norway. Yeah, there's good quality.
No,
I'm a beer type of guy. I drink beer. I don't drink wine.
No.
Yeah, but I will bring you some.
You don't
bottles.
drink wine?
Believe it or not, no, I don't. I'm a beer type of guy. Listen to good music, you know. So well, definitely we'll stay in touch because I have some question about bel canto and then definitely I want to interview young band as well because it's unbelievable. I didn't know that guy could sing. You know, I was blown away. Where did this come from? You know, my God, man, wow, what a shock.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, it was very nice talking to you, man.
Nice talking to you too. And I will also send you the files as I have my new album. This I don't have the hard copy yet, but I will send you the file so you can listen to
right,
that.
man. And send me the link to the festival to see if I can.
I will.
If I can make it. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Take it easy, man. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.